I'm looking through the documents and archives that were released through the Freedom of Information Act about something called COINTELPRO, Operation White Hate. Is that the FBI actually used subversion, murder, assassinations, all kinds of tricks and gay-ops to destroy both pro-white groups, like the Klan at the time. What's going on here is I found something very interesting. So COINTELPRO, when it's covered in the mainstream media, it's often talked about in the context of attacking black nationalist groups, or even Martin Luther King himself, who was a target of COINTELPRO. He was being blackmailed by them. But what's never talked about for political reasons, because of the ideology of researchers, is how COINTELPRO was used against the Klan and other nationalist groups. Here are some very interesting things just from the documents and archives themselves that I found. So there's one that there's one where they actually, the FBI was trying to collect blackmail material on George Lincoln Rockwell from the American Nazi Party. Another interesting thing I saw in these is how reliant the FBI was on journalists, in the sense that they would collect information on people and they would make sure to furnish this information on, quote, friendly journalists, in other words, intelligence operatives in the mainstream media. The tactic essentially was to create bad publicity for the Klan and then make it kind of socially uncouth to be a member. They specifically targeted the middle-class professionals that were members or sympathizers of the Klan. So what we see here is tactics we see being used by the Southern Poverty Law Center and ADL today. Doxing. They were big on doxing. By doxing, I mean they release his identity to the media. Another tactic they were using was the FBI wrote a joke book about the Klan and released this as a way to mock them. Another fascinating thing is all the articles, all these editorials that seem like they're being written by journalists, they're all written by the FBI and put under the names of famous journals published in the Washington Post and so on. I found another tactic they were using was they created a fake organization with a fake newsletter that sought to disseminate kind of black propaganda, and the person writing, it was the FBI writing the articles in the newsletter and running the organization, but it was presented as an ex-Klansman who quit the Klan because he thought that they were causing disorder in the country, all intended with discouraging people from joining the Klan and also getting them out of it. But the point is, though, is that they really focused on digging up blackmail material, on releasing, like they were focused largely on discrediting leaders, not just pro-white leaders, but also black nationalist leaders and so on. And what they did was they caused infighting. And then when organic infighting happened, they were always there to swoop in. I mean, you see so many decrees and memorandums from either Rosen or Sullivan or so on saying, oh, there's this infighting going on, there's factionalism going on here. We have informants telling us that some stuff is brewing up, so we need to capitalize on this. Go and start an alternative Klan group for these guys to split from the main Klan and so on.